Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a lap guide for Circuit de la Sarthe with the 2016 Nissan GTR GT500. And just a quick note that for this daily race, rain is a possibility, so make sure you have your racing intermediate and wet tires ready just in case. We're on the racing medium tires with BOP on and tuning disabled, and this was recorded in version 1.31 as there is an update this week which could potentially change how some of these cars handle. But anyways, let's get started with the lap guide, going through turn 1 flat out and bring yourself towards the right side of the track because you're using this first total sign on the right as your first braking point. So brake just before you pass it, full braking power, going all the way down to first gear for more rotation, then bringing yourself up to third gear as you make your way out of the chicane. You can take advantage of the curves, but you want to be careful with your throttle input so you don't get any unnecessary wheel spin. Then you're braking shortly after you pass this cone that is on the right. You're going to turn in immediately as you start to brake, so full braking power for a short moment, going out to third gear for more rotation, and you can exit on fourth gear for a bit more control of the car, but stay on the left side of the track because you're going to turn in shortly after the blue area on the right starts, so just after the new sector starts. So just lift off our throttle and turn in. You can use a little bit of braking if you're behind someone, as the dirty air will affect how your car handles, but for the most part just lift off our throttle and turn in. But anyways, for the first Mulsanne chicane, you're braking before the 100 meter board, full braking power, gradually making your way down to first gear for a bit more rotation and slowly easing off of the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking. And as you exit the chicane, I would say to exit on third gear, that way you have a bit more control of the car as you exit the chicane. And it'll be a similar story with the second Mulsanne chicane, braking before the 100 meter board. This chicane is a little sharper than the first one, so you do need to slow down a little bit more compared to the first chicane. And again, I think it's better to actually exit on third gear, that way you have a bit more control of the car and there's less chance of getting unnecessary wheel spin. Now for the end of the Mulsanne straight, you're braking just before you reach the apex of this little kink that is on the right. Full braking power, turning in before the gravel on the left ends, making your way down to first gear for a bit more rotation, but exit on second gear, get the car pointing towards the next section of the track and get on the throttle. As we go up to Indianapolis, you want to brake when the curb on the right ends. So this curb right here, brake right as it ends, making your way down to second gear, turning in when the curb on the right ends. And you can exit Indianapolis on third gear for a bit more control of the car as you exit the turn. Bring yourself towards the left side of the track, and you can use the second sign that is on the right as your next braking point. Full braking power, making your way down to first gear for a bit more rotation, but exit on second gear, and you can actually see me miss the apex. Don't miss the apex. But anyways, exit on second gear. We're going to go ahead and fast forward through this one more time as we enter the Porsche curves, using the end of the green area on the left as the braking and turning point, and using around 25% braking power. Don't forget that these cars have a lot of downforce, so you can carry a lot of speed through these corners. Using a little bit of braking for this right turn, stay on the right as you're looking for this sign on the right as your turning point, and just lift off our throttle. You might need to use a little bit of braking if you're right behind someone, as the dirty air will make you understeer, but for the most part just lift off our throttle. And finally, you're braking before the curb on the right starts, and you're trying to carry as much speed as you can, taking advantage of the curves as they're still within track limits. Making your way down to second gear for a bit more rotation, but you can briefly go up to third gear for a bit more control of the car. Brake when the curb on the right starts, and briefly go down to first gear for a bit more rotation, but exit the final chicane on second gear. So just a lot of playing around with the gear changes. And that is it for this lap guide, as unfortunately I'm really short on time and I should have been asleep about 4 hours ago. So take care everyone, watch out for the rain in this race, and I'll see you in the next video.